Hey everyone, welcome back to the M&R Show. I'm Ron.
And I'm Malcolm.
And today we're going to be talking about Russell Wilson, the 2-1, surprisingly, Denver Broncos. So just Malcolm, what has been like, did the Broncos pay Russell Wilson too early? Should we be worried about the Denver Broncos?
No, because question I got to ask you is this. One more question to ask you. Who has been the best since Peyton Manning? What quarterback goes close to Russell Wilson?
Yeah, I couldn't even tell you. Osweiler, I guess. Wasn't he there? Brock, I guess.
Brock Osweiler, if we're talking about Brock Osweiler as the closest to what, was close to Russell Wilson,
I guess.
That should be a problem. Because at the end of the day, we look at this team and we see that this team is really, if we look at this roster, we say they got the receivers, they got, the defense.
Yeah.
We think that this team is fully constructed. To be honest, the past 3 games, they've only been allowing 10 points a game. Their scoring defense is tops in the NFL right now. Being able to, yes, I know they played the Texans, but the Texans scored 20 against the Colts. And the Colts did very good against, the Chiefs. So, and then the 49ers dropped over 20. Now they only had 10 points. So I just feel like this defense is already there, but this offense is trash. You're right. The offense is trash, but I don't think it's more on Russell Wilson. I think it's more on Nathaniel Hackett. At first, the first game of the season, we looked at Nathaniel Hackett. We understand, during the Green Bay days, they always start off slow, and then they started getting better and better as the games go by. But right now, it's a problem. We look at the Denver Broncos right now. They have a higher punt rate with Nathaniel Hackett in this offense than they had the past 3 years with Teddy Bridgewater and Drew Lock and those boys. If you look 2022, first 3 games of the year so far, they had 16 punts, a 49% punt rate. The last 3 years, 2021, the first 3 games, when it was 3-0 and stuff like that, they had 9 points, 30% punt rate. So this offense is definitely not humming. But I do have to understand that this is a new offense. You got Jerry Jeudy, who's coming off injury. You got Cortland Sutton, who's been coming off injury. You have a lot of unknown going on, a lot of guys trying to integrate together and stuff like that. And that's why I just feel like I have confidence in this offense. Do I think that Denver Broncos made a mistake? No. They've been trying 6 years to find a quarterback. So I think that if you look at the fact, they didn't make a mistake with Denver Broncos. Not Denver Broncos. They didn't make a mistake with Russell Wilson. They did a good job, and they're going to get better as the years go. Not the years, but as the games go by. They're 2-1. We got the Raiders are 0-3. So
yeah, I don't know how this team should be probably 0. This is an 0-3 team. They're 2-1. This got to be one of the worst 2-1 teams in the NFL. They dang near almost lost to Houston Texans. Houston Texans. That was like a down to the wire game. Last week, down to the wire game. And he couldn't even score 20 points. I mean, I guess it's the 49ers. I guess they have a good defense, but 20 points is a pretty low standard. And they've been struggling bad. Like the coach, who said Nathaniel Hackett has no idea what's going on. Absolutely no idea what's going on. But even past that, we got to look at the GM. New GM. They fired Elway. They fired my guy. Great quarterback. Terrible GM. Well, he got paid man initially. It can't be that bad. But overall, it wasn't the best in his tenure. They have a new GM. Before Russ Wilson plays any games, contract. Probably not this hindsight is 2020, as everyone says. And we all know the quarterback deals never go down, period. So usually you sign your quarterbacks as early as possible. I get that. And they gave up a lot of draft capital for Russ Wilson. They probably had to give him a contract. Regardless, before he plays the game, you give him a contract. He's already 34 in the 2022 season. The contract doesn't even start. He still had years left in the contract. So this year, $17 million cap hit. 2023 at age 35, $22 million cap hit. Now, 2024, when the cap hit start to rise, but not that much. By 2024, the cap is $35 million. That's still not that much for a quarterback, especially when the TV deal hits. 2025, 37 years old. This $55 million cap hit in 2025 at 37 years old. By 2026, a $58 million cap hit. Now, before that, in 2026, there is an out in the contract. The Broncos can cut him and take a $31 million dead cap hit, or they can decide to keep him in his age 38 through 40 season with a $50 million cap hit at ages 34 through 40 seasons. So we have to see what happens by that 2025 year. But to Malcolm's point, from 2022 to 2024, so 3 seasons, his cap hit is 35 million or below. They can build a great team the first 3 years. So you'll know within the first 3 years if this is the quarterback, if this was a great deal or a terrible deal. Simple. His cap hit won't be anything. They'll be able to sign all their players. Colin Sutton will get a deal. Jerry Jeudy, probably not. But some of the other players will be able to get paid because his cap hit will be so low. So I kind of think they should have maybe did a shorter deal. Maybe he pushed for it to be longer and their hands were tied. They already lost the picks. So for now, I'm going to edge on that the deal isn't terrible because there's an out. But this is what happens when you kind of rush a deal sometimes, especially with the older quarterback. Tom Brady might be kind of conflicting our memories. Everyone can't play good at the age 40. It's just not possible. People wear that.
Aaron Rodgers who played a little bit later.
Yeah, but remember, he set out for his first 3 or 4 seasons too. So it's like even him, he don't even got the quote unquote mileage as these other guys. He didn't set out 2-3 years. Russell Wilson's a running quarterback. I mean, he don't run no more because he ain't got the wheels anymore. The acceleration ain't it no more. I don't know what's that about. But we just got to see how he looks in the next 3 or 4 years. and he's like 5'11". I mean, he's from Malk's hometown. I mean, not that close. About an hour 30 away from Malk. So I mean, about an hour 30. He's from the area, so he's been going for a while. It's just scaring me because he's short and immobile, and that just doesn't age well. I swear that just scares me a lot.
Yeah, I mean, it's true. We talk about that, but I mean, look at Drew Brees. You look at Aaron Rodgers. These guys that have, played to later on their years. See, my problem isn't really Russell Wilson, because at the end of the day, we look at Denver Broncos. Number one, as a business side, you definitely need a guy like Russell Wilson. Number one, you've been praying for a guy like him to be open in the market. Denver Broncos have been trying to get a guy like him for years, ever since Peyton Manning left.
Yeah.
And now you got a guy like Russell Wilson. You have to give him, give a lot of your future draft picks for him. I think this is a good fit. I think the only problem that we have is them understanding Nathaniel Hackett's system, or Nathaniel Hackett being able to put a good system in place where they be able to, do good. Think of this. The first game of the season against Seattle Seahawks, they had a chance to win. What happened? The dude kicks a whole field goal instead of having a quarterback that you pay almost $250 million for to be able to go for the 4th down. So some of the things that we talk about, we try to talk about Russell Wilson, but let's understand what Nathaniel Hackett's been doing, the decisions that he's been making. Shoot, he wants that kicker to be. I think that kicker's on his fantasy team. I think we talk about a lot about fantasy.
Oh, he's gone off.
That kicker has to be on fantasy or something, because the way he loves to make sure he does this long field goals attempts is just crazy to me. So, but at the end of the day, Denver Broncos did not make a mistake. Regardless how the contract is, when you get a guy like Russell Wilson, you need to go ahead and get it. Shoot, I wish Washington was able to get it with a better offensive coordinator.
Let's ride, Broncos country.
That's right.
You're going to have to be riding to age 40 season. You're going to be riding. Because what's scaring the Broncos fans, I'm going to speak for the Broncos fans here. What's scaring them is that, dang, at age 34, if we're looking like a little regress has happened, I can't imagine 6 years down the road. It don't get better. Now, the play calling, like Malcolm said, that can get better. But right now, they've played, 3 games, Mal? He's thrown 2 touchdowns in 3 games, and they haven't played a good team yet. Really. I mean, the 49ers, I guess that's a good team, but right now, I'm not even sure if they're getting in the playoffs with it. Maybe they made it to the conference championship last year. They looked terrible. They couldn't even score 12 points last week. I don't know if it might be 2 touchdowns. They haven't played really a good team yet. 60 PFF grade, 61 passing grade. It ain't gonna get easy. They're gonna play the Chiefs. They gotta play the Chargers. I mean, who knows what's going on with that? I mean, every other player is hurt on the Chargers, so maybe they'll be better than them. I think the Broncos just need to get in the playoffs. If they can get in the playoffs, we can see how, maybe Russell Wilson can elevate in the playoffs like he's historically done in the past, 2018 prior. Maybe if he can do that and pull a Joe Flacco, it's we have nothing to say at that point, because he's proven that at least if you can get a roster to get in the playoffs, he can show up. That's truthfully all that's going to matter for the Broncos. Can you win the playoffs? They don't really care about the regular season. Get in the playoffs. Get some home games, because it's hard to win in Mile High, and win. I think it's possible. I mean, they technically are tied for first in the division. The Chiefs are 2-1. They're 2-1. Chargers 1-2. Raiders, good God, 0-3. So
yeah, and that's what I'm saying. At the end of the day, they could have easily be 3-1 with a, the field goal that didn't, and they went for 4th and 5, to be honest. And yeah, it was Seattle. Seattle been with Russell Wilson for a long time. The receivers known, so it was going to be hard to win that game, especially in Seattle, especially with people that are already familiar with your game. But that's when you talk about coaching. That's when you definitely see the difference in coaching from a Seattle standpoint of view, because at the end of the day, there was always problems with that offense, and especially with Russell Wilson as far as running the ball or throwing the ball. They had those type of issues. So we thought that with the newer coordinator, with somebody who's been with Aaron Rodgers, who's able to use that run game and passing game as a balance, we thought that that's going to be able to work, because you still got guys like Devontae Williams and you still got Melvin Ingram there. So it's just like, you know what I'm saying? So you got the two like running backs, and you got the receivers in Cortland Sutton and Jared Jeudy. We just expect more from this offense, especially from the coordinator part of view. It's like getting this offense going. Like there's no reason why they're scoring. The highest they scored was probably like 16 points. There's no reason
it
for
ain't
that.
it, bro. And the receivers are looking a little overrated. Coming to this, people like, man, the Broncos got a good little receiving core. Like, they all right.
I said they all right though. I mean, like they all right.
Sutton. I think he's a good player, not really a great player. So he's, because we know receiver. Me and Malcolm have both agreed on deepest position in the league. You can have a top 20 guy and be like, oh, I'm good with my guy. Cortland Sutton is not even the top 15 guy. Maybe not even top 20 if I really write a list, but he's still a good receiver. But then it comes Jerry Jeudy. I don't know what it is. Shannon Sharp tweeted, look, you can do all them route running videos in the offseason, but can you catch the damn ball? No. Like, nah. Like, he got to catch the ball, bro. I think Russell Wilson maybe will figure it out. My last thing, I just got, please no more commercials. Please no more tweets. Please no more videos. It's the cringiest thing I've ever seen on the internet.
It's no more Let's Ride. It's
no more Let's Ride. No more
score.
Chipotle. Yeah, my rap is dangerous. No, nothing. I want to hear nothing from you. Baker Mayfield vibe. Nothing.
All I want to hear is no Let's Ride. Let's score. Let's score. How about that?
We get 25 points. 30. You're supposed to be holding.
Shoot, give me 20. Give me 20 at this point. Give me 20 at this point. For real. But.
And Nathaniel Hackett, you're on the hot seat, my guy. Like, it's year one, you're not gonna be fired. It's not, well, it is that bad. But one thing I can say, unlike Russell Westbrook, accountability. At least he's hired some new people to help him with the scorekeeping. He's done this. He said, I made a mistake. That's the first step to victory. When you are accountable for your mistakes, you have the willingness to improve. If you want to be petty and be hard-headed, then that's a little scary. So at least he's admitted his mistakes, and I think he'll get better. And he does follow like a Hall of Fame coach, I guess. So I guess that means you're,
I mean, I'm gonna end off with this though. It's quite concerning when you've been on the team that's been 13-3 the past 3 years. You've been with a younger head coach and follows Matt LaFleur, and how he was able to do so well, and you've been with him. It's quite concerning that he doesn't understand some of the game situations and stuff like that. That's all I have to say. It's just quite concerning. It's quite concerning. It's no way. It's just no way possible. That's what I think. If you want to be a rookie, cool. Please don't have these rookie mistakes, because at the end of the day,
it's like 50.
It's concerning. You didn't know who to hire. You don't know the game. You don't know how the game situation. Yeah. That's a problem. I'm saying that's a problem. That's a problem. That's all I'm saying.
Okay. Well, again, if you like this episode, subscribe, like, share to all your friends, all your people. We're doing a lot of content for the M&R network. Malcolm.
Hey, make sure y'all follow us on Instagram and on Twitter. Twitter, I'm at Malcolm Ron Show. Instagram at Malcolm Ron Network. We post a lot of different things, different polls and different like top fives. Make sure y'all tune in, y'all. Appreciate the support though, y'all. I see y'all though.
All right.